Look, I'm telling you guys, it's 3 drops.
And we're telling you it's one drop.
Yeah, but the recipe calls for 3.
You need to get your eye checked because that clearly needs only 1 drop.
You're one to talk? You guys don't even have eyes.
We don't need any eyes. We've done this brew so many times we know it by heart.
Okay, no hearts either, by the way.
It's 1 drop.
It's 3.
1.
3!
1!
Okay, what is the big deal anyway? Look, 1, 2, 3. There. There's no issue. It's like eyeballing tablespoons for cooking, you know? All right, so the next step says that we just have to...
Hey, better luck next time, shopkeeper.
Oh, piss off, you bundle of rags! Hello. Welcome in. Pleasure to have you in the shop. Excuse me. Good heavens. Oh, not my finest moment. But I think today is actually a perfect day to talk about one of the most common things an adventuring party needs in D&D. Potions. Specifically health potions. Let's let's talk about it. Okay. Now, why are we talking about health potions today and not potions as a whole? Well, health potions are by far the most popular potion when it comes to the fantasy genre, and in my opinion, they need a little bit more talking time for this exact reason. Hopefully, we will get to the other ones, but I'm not going to promise anything. And for now, I'd like to break down the health potion into 2 talking points, and hopefully this video will help guide primarily dungeon masters to come to an understanding about these kinds of items for players, and to give some suggestions to help you with your games. So, let's go over the first talking point, which is the effect. In Dungeons & Dragons, there are 4 tiers of the health potion. The Standard, the Greater, the Superior, and the Supreme. They all produce the same effect, which is regaining hit points to the drinker who has been physically damaged. The only difference in the tiers is the different amount of healing that's provided. The Standard heals 2d4 plus 2 hit points. The Greater heals 4d4 plus 4 hit points. Superior heals 8d4s plus 8 hit points. And lastly, the Supreme heals 10 d4s plus 20 hit points. You know what? Just shoot. Get out of here. Now, Rules as Written says that drinking or administering a potion takes a full action, but I'm gonna put a footnote in that and get to that little tidbit later on. So, moving on. It's important to clarify that a healing potion of any tier does not regenerate limbs, mend broken bones, fix a broken heart, or remove curses. But do I think that this is the way it always should be? It really depends. When you're the one DMing, think about what these potions can do to the body and what they could be capable of. It could be interesting for your players to consider the healing potions in a different light, other than the standard, which one does the most healing. Different tiers could give other positive effects, like curing illnesses or giving temporary hit points or what have you. You can also use the ghost sheet method, that's what my girlfriend calls it, The ghost sheet method is basically if you have a unique monster idea that you don't have a stat block for, you can just use the stat block of a similar monster, give it some adjustments, drape your flavor text over it, and you have your monster ready to go for the session. Same thing applies with health potions. Stat-wise, it's a health potion, but visually, it's a medical syringe, tinctures, ointments, or you could get even more unique with things like holy wine, perfumes, or a jar of leeches. Still health potions at their core, but with different effects for each variant. Maybe the syringe acts like an adrenaline shot and grants the user the haste spell when administered. Ointments could help maximize the health received from rests via their hit dice. Holy wine could give a cleric buff to the user. But to be clear, I don't think that there is anything wrong with the effect rules as written. But I do legitimately think that there is some wiggle room to adjust health potions in the effect category. But now comes the question that everyone loves to talk about. How much do these health potions cost? The price. Why are D&D health potions so expensive? Expensive? Maybe for a commoner like yourself they are. Okay, that's just rude. Why even bother buying them then? Think of it this way, shopkeeper. A health potion is far more than just the healing. Huh. Yeah, I guess that's valid. A common opinion that I hear from players is that the price of healing potions in D&D games are really overpriced. The standard potion is priced around 50 gold pieces, and it just goes up from there. And for the most part, I understand not everyone is walking down the town square with designer bags of holding or basilisk skin boots, but I still kinda disagree with that stance. Now, do I think that everything is properly priced, rules as written? No. Absolutely not. In fact, I really encourage you dungeon masters out there to use the price charts simply as a jumping off point for your own ruling about the economy in the game. I know, riveting stuff to think about, but you seriously should think about it unless you want to get caught with your pants down. But yes, I do think that the common healing potion is pretty fair in terms of its 50 gold piece value, and I'll tell you why. I think something people need to consider is that a healing potion is more than just the healing. Now, what do I mean by that? A potion is a readily available buff that the player can access at any time. Yes, a cleric can heal a player for more hit points with just one cure wounds spell with no monetary cost, but an adventure sometimes doesn't have a cleric, or a druid, or cure wounds at all on hand, and therefore, the steep price isn't necessarily from the amount of healing, but from the simple fact that the potion acts as an incredibly powerful tool from its on-hand readiness. It never expires, any class can use it, and if your DM is cool, I'm gonna put a footnote in that and get to that little tidbit later on. So, moving on. Hi! Oh! Sorry, I'm gonna take this now, alright? Thank you. Alright,
Wait.
You can break this rule, and you can drink it as a bonus action. This is one of the most common homebrewed rules you'll see in this game. It's so common, the 2024 Dungeon Master's Guidebook made it an official rule, and for good reason too. Drinking a potion as an action slows combat down. But not only that, drinking a potion as a bonus action leans into the value and the identity of the potion being an on-hand, flexible buff. However, when it comes to purchasing, the other types of healing potions, I feel like this now is worth critique and suggestions. I am of the opinion that it's always been a bit of a confusing task for each individual dungeon master to find a solid, reasonable price chart for these potions. Technically, there is an official chart when you look at the crafting section in Xanathar's, but I think someone was a little drunk at the wheel when making this section, because if you double the crafting cost of the ingredients to make a potion, that results in their worth to buy them. 25 gold pieces to craft the standard, 50 gold pieces to buy the standard. That makes sense. But that, in turn, makes the Supreme Potion, which is 10,000 gold pieces to craft, 20,000 gold pieces to buy. That's 400 pounds of gold. Sure, the house is foreclosed, and your wife Jennifer left you for spending the life savings on a single glass bottle of magic fruit juicy Hawaiian punch, but hey, that's 10 D4s and 20 static hit points you can recover. Look, this might work for you, but for a lot of other fantasy worlds out there, it definitely could use a revision, so don't be afraid to revise it. The core books don't even really like the idea of setting prices for magical items anyway, so that kind of makes it your problem to deal with. I personally have my Supreme Potion priced around 1,000 to 5,000 gold pieces, and I adjust the others based on that. Again, use the price sheets as reference, not as law. This game is fun, but it ain't perfect. I just wanted to say thank you all so much for watching. I know that this video is a lot longer compared to my last video, and it's also ending a lot more awkwardly compared to my last video. The reason for that is because this video was originally supposed to have 3 sections in it, not just 2. It was supposed to have a crafting section as the third and final section, but I'm not including it because this video is already way too long, and crafting is also way too long to talk about, and I feel like it deserves its own video and not just a section to talk about, because you could talk a lot about crafting that is not just about potions. So yeah. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'm working really hard on other projects at the moment, not just D&D related. Some of it's not D&D related, but it's exciting stuff nonetheless. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.